Guys, Julie Saillant, how are you? Thank you so much for being here. 11s, I love you guys. You know this, I'm an 11 myself. Thank you for being here. I am just so glad that you tuned in today. And I am here for you to help you overcome your whatever is stopping you from being your very best self. And today I wanted to give you some new information on what I've got cooking because I've spoken to quite a few of you through the comments and also offline as well. And I know that a lot of you are struggling with living a life free of fear. And the reason why you have lived a lot of your life in fear is because you've been misunderstood from the time you were small. Because 11s are very deep people, right? We are the type of people that we don't do surface stuff. We're always processing, like I say, 25 levels deep, and we're always like 5 steps to 10 steps ahead of everyone else. And it's just the way that we process. It's different than everyone else. So after listening to you, there are two different things that I wanted to offer to you. One is we have released the Brave Academy, but that's for a very specific person because it's very high touch. So I wanted to offer you two other ways to work with me and my colleague. And it's going to be one is send us whatever is your biggest obstacle right now. What are you struggling with, right? And it can be anything. Whatever you're struggling with, we are offering a 30-minute video. So you would send us, whatever it is you're struggling with, and then we will take that, give you a 30-minute video and send it back to you. And that's going to be for $199. So that's available. And then I'm also working on a subscription group just for 11s, right? I thought that would be cool because it'll be a way for you guys to interact with each other. I'm going to do videos every week. We can have meditations, all kinds of cool stuff, but just for 11s because to be honest with you, the 11s respond the most. And since I'm an 11, I mean, my colleague's an 11, we thought it would be really smart to do that. So that's two ways to work with me. And I really want to encourage you, especially 30-minute video one, because we're going to go deep and we're going to really be able to help you. So if you're interested in either of those, please just email me or send or put up a comment, but probably emailing me is the best way to do so. And in this video, I just wanted to touch on if you are living a life where you feel unempowered, where you feel like you're in fear. That's how I used to be. I used to feel as though I didn't know what my gifts were. I wasn't standing in my power. I always felt as though I was never accepted. I always felt like the odd man out. I always felt alone. Now I still feel alone in crowds. It's because I feel as though 11s are different. We are different people because we're so deep, right? And because we process differently, because we're one of the 144,000. But a lot of you, what you don't realize is you're focusing on too much on the negative, and you need to understand the positive. And the positive side of this is that you are super gifted, right? If we always focus on the fear and what we don't have, that's all you're going to ever look at. When really you need to say to yourself, you know what, I'm super gifted, right? I can do things nobody else can do, right? Because I process deeply, because I'm not surface and I'm not fake, right? That means that I really think about things. And so when I give my answer or I talk to someone, it's very deep and it's a true answer, right? And it usually always comes from the heart. And the two things that people ask me the most are one is, what are my gifts? And then the second is, how do I use my gifts, right? And then the other part of that is, how do I stand in my power? And what does that even mean? Because I lived my whole life from fear and from lack. And I can tell you that finding your gifts and understanding your gifts is one thing. Using your gifts is a totally separate thing, right? Because I can tell you what your gifts are, but the way that we are structured is you don't get all your gifts at once. You get them a couple at a time because otherwise you'd be so overwhelmed, you wouldn't know what to do with them and you'd freak out. So you get them, one at a time or a couple at a time, and then you work with those and then you get some more. And it's up to you to understand, well, what do I do differently that everyone else doesn't do? And what's easy for me? That's the way you have to think about it. Some of you may be writers, some of you may be good with numbers, some of you may be actors or artists, whatever it is, right? Whatever, like I do a lot of writing, and I'm always understanding kind of what people are saying when they're not saying anything. And I'm sure you're the same way because that's how 11s are programmed. Because we don't look at just the outside or just one thing. We look at everything. So it's not more or less what the person's saying. It's more what you're not saying. That's what I'm concentrating on. I'm not concentrating on your words. I'm concentrating on your body, what you're expressing, and kind of what you're putting out there in front of you versus what you're actually saying to me. And then I'm putting that together. It's almost like a puzzle. And and a lot of 11s are like that. And you have to realize that that's a gift. Most people can't do that. Most people only focus on what people are saying very surfacely. Oh, you say ABC and I say GIF, right? Whereas 11s are like, oh, okay, that's just the surface stuff. Underneath that, this person's trying to convey this. And the other person's like, what are you, how did you know that? Right? That's just because we are gifted at the nuances of seeing people's true emotions and what they're not saying. What's your body saying, what your vibration is, what your energy is. That's what we read. And you read that intuitively. And an 11 can always get that. You don't have to be trained in that. I'm sure all of you probably do that. And you may not even realize you're doing it. But start paying attention to how you read people. Are you listening to just their voice? Or are you really looking underneath that and then seeing the vibration, the energy, how they're acting, and then putting all that together and then coming up with this is how this person feels? Because I bet you're doing that and you don't realize it. And that's one of your gifts. So the 30-minute thing with that video would really help a lot of people. Bring us one question, whatever is stopping you from being your best self, whatever it is. It can be a business, it can be personal, it can be spiritual, whatever it is. And the two of us will help you with it, my colleague and I, because this is when you really need to start ramping up, right? We want all the 11s to be up and running, not to be living in fear. You know, I don't want you guys to be stuck where I was for so long. That's why I opened the Brave Academy, to be free of fear, to move forward and to be like, it's okay, right? It's okay. We're going to move forward no matter what. So finding your gifts, right? What they are, and then living them. That's one part of this. And the other part of this is to live in faith that you are a spiritual, divine, sentient being, and you were sent here for a purpose, to shine your light, to help others, right? But also to help yourself, because you're gifted, seriously gifted, and you're amazing at what you do. And you've got to turn your eyes and your thinking from, I can't do this and I can't do that, and I'm alone and I'm different, to the positives of that, which is I'm gifted. I'm different, but in a good way, right? Because you are. You're very special. It's really important. So I want to encourage you. This is going to be a short video because I just wanted to come on and encourage you. If you want to have either one of those services, let us know right away. I'm working on the subscription stuff, and let's do this, right? Let's do this. My email's Saillant, JSAILLANT5 @outlook.com. I'll put it in the notes. Email me if you need my help, and let's do this, because I want to turn all you guys from fear to faith, and then from not understanding what you're gifted at to your gifts, right? And we can do that really quickly for you. All right, let me know if this helped you. If you are feeling as though you're not getting what you need in terms of how to move forward, right? Really in a strong way, let me know, because I will do a video on exactly what you need, but you got to tell me what you need. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.